Hi everyone who's joining us for the Martens class story, The Mystery of the Hidden Gold. I knew that Simon Fox was not a good character. Anyway, we're on chapter 17, Welcome to the Real World. Fox narrowed his eyes and looked down the barrel of the gun. You kids think you're pretty smart, don't you? His voice was hard and cold as the blade of a knife. You did a good job of figuring out those clues, I'll give you that. But now we're going to start playing by my rules. Jack stared at Fox. The friendly smile had transformed into a sneer. It was as if he'd peeled off a mask to reveal a totally different person underneath. You kids are going to help me stow this gold on your rowing boat, but that's where it ends. I take the boat, you stay on the island. Emily opened her mouth to speak, but Fox jerked the gun in her direction. As long as you do exactly what I say, no one will get hurt. Don't worry, I'll soon be there. And I'll call the ghost card. They'll come and pick you up. But you agreed not to take any of the gold, Emily said bravely, even though her voice was quivering. Fox barked out a bitter laugh. Oh yeah, honour among pirates, eh? What are you going to do? Make me walk the plank? You signed a contract. Scott kept his eyes fixed on the gun as if it was a rattlesnake about to strike. And you shook on it. Fox laughed again. Yeah, well, here's a surprise for you kids. I lied. Welcome to the real world. People tell lies. I need a lot of dosh in a hurry, and now I've got it. He looked down at the chest of gold. Now let's shift this lot onto the boat. You boys should be able to carry it between you. Jack's fury flamed as hot and bright as a blowtorch. How dare Fox double-cross him again like this? They'd rescue him from drowning and giving him a second chance after he'd nicked their map. Didn't he know the meaning of gratitude? If this guy thinks we're going to help him walk away with our treasure, he can think again. Move it, Fox snapped, pointing at the chest with his gun. On the other hand, he does have a Lee Enfield rifle pointed right at us, Jack thought. That does kind of change things. He stared at the gun. That does kind of... it looked like something in a display cabinet at the War Museum. Hang on, Jack thought. It is a museum piece. It's been underground for over 100 years. Surely the gunpowder in those cartridges would have got damp in all that time. And there's that metal. It's all rusty. There's no way the gun's going to fire. Look what happened to the metal detector after one quick dunk in the sea. Jack glanced at Scott and Emily. They were standing either side of him, still staring at the psycho Fox, both motionless, as living statues without the sale of paint. Drift was sitting at Emily's feet, a soft growl bubbling in his throat. Fox took a step forward. No way, Jack thought. He grabbed hold of Emily and Scott by the elbows and began to run, dragging them with him. Come on, he yelled. Fox is just bluffing. That gun won't fire. Scott's heart almost burst out of his ribcage. What was Jack doing? Fox had a gun pointed at them. Did Jack really think he could outrun a speeding bullet? Only Jack could be crazy enough. But there was no time to think. Now Emily was running as well, holding on to Jack. Drift was sprinting across next to them. Scott had no choice. If he pulled Jack back now, they would just be in more danger. Okay, make it for the monastery, he gasped, pushing Jack and Emily ahead of them, trying to shield them with his body from the gunfire he was sure would come at any second. He saw a low, tumble-down wall at the base of the monastery ruins. It was only a few meters ahead. If we can just get behind it and take cover. Hurry, Drift, Emily yelled. She knew they were running for their lives. She was furious with herself for having let Simon Fox take her in with that buddy-buddy act again. How could she have been so gullible? She should have listened to Drift. He'd never been wrong about that sort of thing. She looked back over her shoulder to see Fox raise the gun to his shoulder and take aim. Still she ran. The dry grass tore at her legs, and her bare feet stumbled over the scattered rocks and hidden potholes. Time seemed to slow as she felt Scott pull her arm. She dived headfirst behind the wall as she heard the click of the trigger behind her. A blast of pain slammed through her body. For a few seconds she saw Scott and Jack's faces at the end of a pulsating tunnel of light. Then everything went dark. What will happen next? Right, join us tomorrow where Scott hatches a plan. Take care.